ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। आप सभी का स्वागत है।
We welcome all of you
गीता के प्रवचन में
to today's Bhagavad Gita class.
आज हम अध्ययन कर रहे हैं
We are studying
अध्याय का
third chapter,
श्लोक नंबर 36,
verse 36 onwards.
हमने पूर्व के प्रवचनों में सुना। भगवान
As we heard in the previous classes, Bhagavan
प्रवचन कर रहे हैं।
is explaining Karma Yoga
ने पूछा था
because Arjun had asked
कि ये न श्रेय हम आपने कि आप मेरे को एक निश्चय करके बताइए
that please tell me decisively that
मेरा श्रेय होगा
by which I will attain the ultimate benefit.
भगवान ने सांख्य योग और कर्म योग का विश्लेषण किया था।
In the second chapter, Bhagavan had explained Sankhya Yoga.
पैदा हुई थी कि जो
Arjun got a doubt that the Sankhya Yoga, which is Jnana Yoga, which is a simple process, an easy process.
माम नियोजय केशव, तो उनके मन में शंका हुई कि भगवान
So he had the doubt that why is Bhagavan engaging me in this ghastly war,
सरलता है,
although Jnana Yoga is very easy.
उपदेश दिया कर्म योग के अनुसार उनका
So then Bhagavan explained Karma Yoga to him and told
करना
that whatever is one's nature, one should act accordingly.
स्वभाव शब्द का ही अर्थ होता है स्वस्य भाव है, स्वभाव है, जो मेरा अपना भाव है।
Swabhav means my own bhav.
और सुनाई नहीं पड़ रहा, वॉल्यूम बढ़ा दो थोड़ा। सुनता अभी थोड़ा ठीक है? आवाज आ रही है पीछे? ठीक। तो भगवान ने यही कहा कि
So
प्रत्येक व्यक्ति को
Bhagavan
अपने स्वभाव का
said that every person should know his own swabhava and should work according to swabhava. Because if we do not work according to our swabhava, then we will get into trouble. Because
कर नहीं सकते हैं और
we cannot
छोड़ दिया है।
attain another person's swabhava and we have given up our own swabhava,
और ये
then we will
संसार में
become miserable.
जगत में एक
And in today's world, this is a major problem
पता नहीं है कि मेरा स्वभाव
because
क्या है।
nobody knows what is his swabhava, what he should do. He gets influenced by others, or parents tell him that you become like this, but he does not check
पिछले श्लोक में
whether he is fit for that or no. So Bhagavan told in the previous verse,
स्वनिष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनम श्रेय परधर्मो भयावह। उन्होंने यहाँ तक कहा कि परधर्म तो
he said
भयावह
that
है।
following another person's dharma is very dangerous.
लेकिन भगवान
Generally, people die due to
धर्म से करना
people are afraid of death, but Bhagavan is telling that more than death, you should be afraid of following another person's dharma. Because if you do that, you will destroy your life and you will create lot of chaos in the society also. That is why Bhagavan placed lot of emphasis on this point. So hearing this, Arjun got the doubt that
करना कल्याणकारक है।
if
तो व्यक्ति
it is beneficial to follow one's own swadharma, then why does human being not follow his dharma, and why does he imitate another person's dharma, and why does he get implicated in sinful activity? What is the primary reason behind that? So Arjun is a discriminating person. He has viveka. It is not that he hears something and just does whatever he hears. We see that people hear a lot, but they do not follow that. And that is because people do not introspect on what they have heard.
या मेरे लिए क्या करणीय है।
They do not introspect what is good for me, what I should do, what I should avoid. So when Arjun heard,
ऐसा
he
क्यों
got the doubt that why does this happen?
सकता है?
Because if a human being cannot give up his swabhava and he cannot attain another person's swabhava, then why is it that human being engages in sinful activity? Is is it our swabhava to do sinful activity, or is somebody else responsible for our engagement in sinful activity? And why do we enjoy sinful activities so much? Although we hear so much about dharma, about bhakti,
धार्मिक विचार आते
but still, why do we get sinful thoughts in our mind?
ऐसा क्यों होता है?
Why do we
तो ये बहुत
engage in sinful activities?
चीज है।
So this is a very
सभी साधक
practical
के और
point
साधक
to be understood,
तो
especially for all sadhus, all sadhakas. We are all sadhakas. So this is very important to deliberate on this.
श्रृंखला है, इसका मैंने
That's
नाम दिया
why
था गीता
this
हमारा जीवन।
lecture series is entitled Bhagavad Gita and Our Life,
बातें हैं जो भगवान हमें
because
बताते हैं।
whatever Bhagavan is explaining is all relevant in our life.
इसलिए अर्जुन पूछता है, अर्जुन उवाच
So that's why Arjun asks,
स्वयं पापम चरति पुरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वार्ष्णेय बलादिव नियोजितः। तो अर्जुन ने पूछा कि हे कृष्ण, मनुष्य को
translation, Arjun inquired, what impels a person, O Krishna,
किस प्रेरणा
to commit sin even unwillingly,
आदमी इच्छा से
as if driven by force?
लेकिन
One is that a person does sin by desire, and another is he understands that it is wrong and he doesn't want to do that. Still, he feels impelled to do this.
जैसे मानो उसको कोई बलपूर्वक
It seems as if somebody is forcefully impelling him to engage in that sinful activity.
में आता है।
So this question arises in everyone's life, and in sadhaka's life, this is very common. We have to understand this. Otherwise, what will happen is we engage in bhajan sadhan, but we do not see the proper result. So everything has a cause, and until and unless we investigate the cause, we will not be able to solve the problem. So Bhagavan has given us buddhi so that whatever problem we have, whether in our day-to-day life, in our sadhana, what is the cause of the problem, and what is the solution to that. Once we understand the cause, then we have to deliberate what is the solution of the problem. There may be some problems where there is no solution. So there we don't have to do anything. Whatever is beyond our control, because many times we keep wasting our time on topics with which we have nothing to do. We don't have to do anything. Discussing in about politics of some country or our country, so that discussion doesn't give us any benefit. First of all, we have to see what is our qualification, our eligibility, and how we can engage that in Bhagwan's seva, and whatever obstacle we are facing, how can we remove that obstacle, and what I want to obtain. Why am I not able to obtain? What is the obstacle? So it is very important to deliberate on this. So Arjun's inquiry is related to this only. This is what the word Arjuna means. The word Arjuna means straight, one who thinks clearly, in a straightforward way, and who can even stand in front of Bhagavan and ask him question directly. So we also get such thoughts that we cannot do anything. There is some black magic being done on me. That is why this is happening to me. In Christianity, in Islam, there is a concept of devil or jinn. So they say that the devil impels us to engage in such activities. Some people say Bhagavan impels us to do sinful activities. Duryodhan also said like this. When Duryodhan was asked, why do you engage in adharma? Why don't you perform dharma?
जैसा भगवान मेरे को लगा रहे हैं वैसे मैं कर रहा हूँ.
So Duryodhan replied, how in whatever way Bhagavan is engaging me, he is impelling me to act, I am doing that. So this is just a lame excuse. Nobody else is engaging you in any sinful activity. It is you who have to do the right activity. Let's say you are walking on the road and you just trip, you fall down due to some obstacle. So did any devil impel you into this? Did any devil cause you to fall down? No. There is law of gravity. You lost your balance and you fell down. So there is no devil who did anything. Nor did Bhagavan do anything to you. Whatever is happening here, everything is being controlled by Bhagavan. But Bhagavan is the controller in such a way, like suppose there is a machine and that machine works on electricity. So if there is a small machine, it will do some small work. Some big machine will do big work. So electricity is not telling that you do this or you do that. Electricity simply gives power. So the way the machine is designed, accordingly it will work. So if the machine gets rusted, then it may stop also. So that's not the fault of electricity. Similarly, our body is a machine.
भूतानि यंत्रारूढ़ानि माया. तो यंत्र एक तरह से हमारा शरीर है और भगवान.
Our body is a machine and it works by Bhagavan's energy. Now, but whatever bhava we feed into this body, that is our own desire. So in that, now we cannot blame Bhagavan or Maya, that Bhagavan or Maya impelled us to do this. Bhagavan has given us buddhi. We should use that buddhi, and we should keep this machine functioning in the proper order by our diet, our lifestyle.
वो सब संतुलित रहे तो मशीन
It
ठीक से
should
चलेगी,
remain balanced,
हमारी विचारधारा ठीक
and then
रहेगी।
this body machine will function
इस
properly,
पर ध्यान नहीं
and
देंगे
we will have the proper thoughts and desires. But if we do not deliberate on
जो
this,
है
then
कुछ विकार आएंगे, कुछ विकृति आ जाएगी।
then there will be vikritis, there will be wrong thoughts in us,
लेकिन अर्जुन
and then we have to observe that.
भगवान ने दो तीन बातें
Now,
पहले
why did Arjun become doubtful? Because Bhagavan had told 2 or 3 points earlier.
संगस्तेषु उपजायते संगात संजायते काम, के विषयों का संग करने से काम पैदा होता है, फिर उससे समस्या आती है। एक उन्होंने ये कहा
He
था
said
कि
that when we associate with sense objects, then there is karma inside us.
कि हर एक इंद्रिय के अपने राग द्वेष व्यवस्थित हैं।
He also said that every indriya, every sense has its own raga dvesh, so we should be careful of that. Then in this chapter, he also said
कि सब काम जो है वो प्रकृति करा रही है।
that everything is being done by Prakriti.
मैं कहाँ से आ गया बीच में? प्रकृति करा रही है, इंद्रियों के राग द्वेष हैं, विषय चिंतन से ऐसा हो जाता है। तो इसमें मूल कारण क्या है? इसके लिए अर्जुन
So
ने
what is the main cause behind all this? That's what Arjun is asking.
ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि
So
भगवान
now we should not think that Bhagavan is impelling us to do the sinful activity,
फल का दाता
because there is a rule,
कराता नहीं है।
there is a rule that one who gives the phala or the fruit does not impel into the activity to get that fruit. Now we know that we get the phala from Bhagavan only. No human being has that capability to get the phala independently on his own,
भगवान करते हैं,
because we are living in a very complex system where there are many factors. Now, one who gives the phala, he will not engage us in sinful activity.
व्यक्ति कार्य कर रहा है,
Why will he engage us in sinful activity? Why not in the in the right activity? If you have employed a person and your employee does the wrong thing, then you are not responsible for that, because you have not told him to do the wrong thing. You are paying him money to do the right activity.
गलत काम कराएंगे उससे।
When you are paying him the salary, why will you ask him to do the wrong activity?
दाता है,
So if Bhagavan is giving the phala of our karma, why will he impel us to do the wrong activity?
क्योंकि जब तक हम इस
That's why we have to understand this, because until and unless we understand this, we will not be able to take responsibility of our karma. We will always blame others
हम दूसरों के ऊपर दोष डालते
for our troubles. And we have this mentality of blaming others for our own troubles.
तुम ऐसे होते तो
If I am suffering today, then I blame you. Because of you, I am suffering today. All the fights in the family, they are due to this only. Blaming each other. You go to any ashram, in ashram also you see this only. Everybody blames the other people for the problems.
तो हम हर चीज को, क्योंकि हम स्वयं उसको नहीं कर जाना चाहते हैं, स्वयं को नहीं
So
बदलना,
we do not want to change ourselves, because that is hard labor.
बदल जाए और
So we expect that if whole world changes and I remain as I am, then I will be happy. But that is never possible.
को क्या बदलेंगे?
When you cannot change yourself, how will you change the world? And the problem is every person is expecting the world to change. Wherever you go, you will see only international societies. Earlier, it was not like that. Earlier, everybody was focusing on his own sadhana. Today, everybody is engaged in changing the whole world.
बहुत है,
But if you can change yourself, that itself is enough. And because you are also a part of this world, if you have changed yourself, then the world has also changed. And if we are not ready to change ourselves, nobody else will also change. So the question that Arjun is raising here is because Arjun wants to change himself. Arjun is a very high grade sadhak. Actually, he is a Bhagavan, he is a Parshad of Bhagavan. But here Bhagavan is teaching through him what is the quality of a good sadhak. A good sadhak focuses on his own problem, not on others' problems. And generally in life, we always reflect on others' problems, not on our own problem. Now, here Bhagavan is teaching that don't implicate yourself in others' dharmas. It is better for you to die performing your own dharma. That's why Arjun is asking that even unwillingly, why do people commit sin as if driven by force?
30 साल हमारी तो कोई इच्छा नहीं थी, हमें कोई प्रयोजन नहीं था, हम जानते भी नहीं थे। ये बाबा भी हमें पता चला कि ये तो कहीं और रहते थे।
So I also came to know this Baba, he stays somewhere else. I used to teach in Bhaktivedanta Swami Gurukul. What had I got to do with all this fight here? So, forcefully got engaged in this, and by Bhagavan's mercy, somehow Jugal Charan Baba came here, and all this fighting, this stopped,
लेकिन कोई तो निमित्त बनता है,
and I'm here. So, somebody becomes a nimitta.
हमारा भी कोई पाप कर्म रहा होगा पूर्व जन्म का कि हमको इस झगड़े में पड़ना पड़ा, नहीं तो हमें क्या प्रयोजन था इससे। मैं तो अपने हृदय की बात कहता हूँ, मेरा बिल्कुल भी कोई प्रयोजन। और बलाद,
So I had nothing to do with the fight that happened here, and forcefully I was brought into this.
मैं ही इसके पीछे, जैसे मैं ही इसको खाऊंगा।
And I was implicated in such a way into this as if I am going to take it away, and I anyway could not do anything.
बिल्कुल जो अर्जुन प्रश्न पूछ रहा है, मैं आज सुबह इस श्लोक को देख रहा था, तो तभी ये विचार
So when I was reflecting on this verse in the morning, so I was thinking the whole episode of Bhagavad Nivas was like this only, that forcefully I got implicated into this. So whatever happened by mercy of our previous Gurujanas or Acharyas, so we reflect in a way that maybe something wrong had happened, that was why we got implicated. So this is a highly, very pure place. This is the place of Shri Pandit Baba. So many of you don't know about this. This place was established by Shri Kripa Sindhu Das Babaji Maharaj. You can see his photo here. And Shri Pandit Baba is the third. Kripa Sindhu Das Babaji Maharaj is the third person in the photo here. So earlier he used to stay in the near the place of the Vrindavan Research Institute. And in his Smriti, this Bhagavat Nivas place was made here. And my Param Gurudev and my Gurudev, they had contributed a lot to making this place. And Shri Kripa Sindhu Das Babaji Maharaj had written this. It was shown to me in the register also. It was written there. So in that way I am related here. And so first time I am lecturing in a public place. I just teach my students. I consider myself also as a student only, not some guru, acharya, pandit or katha vachak. I am a student and I still study.
हमारे जो दो महापुरुष यहाँ बैठे हैं, उन्होंने कहा अच्छा आप विद्यार्थी हैं, आपकी परीक्षा लेते हैं।
So the two personalities were sitting. They brought me because they wanted to test me.
वो बहुत ही
So whatever Bhagavan is answering here,
सभी साधकों के लिए, चाहे वो
that is very important for every sadhaka, irrespective of the path that sadhaka is following, that it is karma, yoga, bhakti.
बहुत महत्वपूर्ण विषय है समझना इसको, क्योंकि ये समस्या हर एक साधक के जीवन में आती है.
It is important for everyone to understand. Every person faces this, but we are all sadhakas here. That's why we have to understand this. So Bhagavan replies,
महाशनो महापापमा विद्धि एनम ये वैरिणी. तो भगवान ने उत्तर दिया कि ये जो
translation, Shri Bhagavan replied,
जो रजोगुण से उत्पन्न होता है,
it is material desire kama, born from the guna of passion or rajas, and which later transforms into anger.
एक तो महासन है,
So this is the cause of the problem. So it has two
मतलब बहुत खाटा,
characteristics. It is insatiable. It is never satisfied.
और ये बहुत
It eats a lot. And the other is, it is highly inauspicious.
साधक का अगर है तो ये काम है.
So know it to be the enemy on the path of liberation. So this kama is the greatest enemy of every sadhak. So we'll try to understand that what is the root cause of this kama, how it appears in our life, and how can we become free from it.
कहा कि ये जो काम है ये रजोगुण
First of all, we have to understand that this kama, it is born from rajoguna.
ध्याय तो विषयान पुंस संगस्ते जायते संगात संजायते काम. वहां कहा था उन्होंने विषय.
So earlier Bhagavan had said that kama is born by association with Vishaya, and here he is telling it is due to rajoguna. Later he will say
कि काम जो है वो संकल्प से पैदा होता है.
that kama is born from sankalpa.
आगे जाके एक और नई बात कहेंगे, रजो रागात्मकम.
Then later he will tell one more thing,
कि तो रजोगुण जो है वो काम से पैदा होता है.
that rajoguna is born from kama. So this appears quite confusing.
दर्शन करने के लिए आए, आप उससे पूछो आपका क्या
Like
नाम.
if somebody comes here for darshan, so if you ask him his name, suppose he says Maniram, and somebody else asks him, he says my name is Faniram. Then somebody else asks him, he says name is Ganiram.
मनीराम हो के फनीराम हो, कहता मैं मनी.
So then the confusion is, are you Maniram, Ganiram, or Faniram? So he says, I make money, so I am Maniram, and I have Jnana, so I am Ganiram. So I am all of this. But here the problem is that what is this? What is the root cause of kama?
हटाएंगे, क्योंकि इसको वैरी बता रहे हैं भगवान, हमारा ये शत्रु है.
Bhagavan is telling this is enemy.
आध्यात्मिक मार्ग पर
On our spiritual path, the biggest problem is, the biggest enemy is kama.
अर्जुन एक योद्धा पुरुष है तो वो जानना चाहता है कि ये रहता कहाँ है, ताकि इसको
Arjun is a great warrior,
क्योंकि शत्रु
so Arjun wants to know how can I kill it.
व्यवहार करने के चार तरीके हमारे शास्त्र
There
में
are
बताए.
4 ways to deal with an enemy. Shastra has taught Sama, Dama, Danda and Bheda.
आप बातचीत कर लो,
First is Sama, you just discuss with him
उससे
and try to resolve the issue.
लड़ाई झगड़ा करना नहीं.
Then there is no fighting.
दान अगर उसने नहीं बांधा
Second is
दे दो,
Dan. If you give him something, then he may
तो फिर भेद
give up the issue. Then the third is Bhed. The first two are simple processes. Now the third is Bhed.
भेद पैदा
Then you enter his camp and create a Bhed,
नहीं चलता है तो फिर तो लठ है,
a difference.
फिर तो आप
And the last option is Danda.
करने की आवश्यकता.
There you have to fight. So always there is no need to fight. Before that there are 3 other ways also. But here the Kama,
कुछ नहीं चलता.
Sam, Dam and Bhed, they do not work on Kama.
दाम दाम का मतलब दान भी होता है, उसको दान मान देना. दाम का मतलब होता है दमन करना.
Although the word Dama is used, there Dama does not mean rope.
दमन किया ना,
But even if you take the meaning of rope, it is meant to control only.
बोलते हैं.
Like Mother Yashoda was trying to control Bhagavan by tying him with the rope. So there it means to control.
तो तो इसलिए इस काम के साथ में
So that is why, along with this karma, what we should do, because
या भेद ये सब चलता नहीं,
Sam, Dam, Bhed, they do not work on this karma.
महाबाहो काम रूपम दुरासदम, कहता है इसको मारो। वो ये नहीं कह रहा कि इसके साथ में दोस्ती करो, इसके
So
साथ में
Bhagavan
सदस्य
says,
करो।
kill it. Bhagavan is not telling that you make a compromise with karma, make friendship. Because some people think that, okay, let us enjoy karma a little bit. Like somebody has diabetes and he is not supposed to take sugar, but then he says, okay, little bit is allowed. No, it is enemy. Whether you take in little quantity or more quantity, it will cause harm to you. So it is not going to agree.
शत्रु का मतलब होता है जिसका शासन करना।
So it is Shatru, it is enemy. That means must kill it.
है क्या और ये कैसे
But then
आता है,
we have to understand what is this karma and how does it appear. This is what we have to understand.
यही सारे अवगुणों का
Because this is the root cause of all the
वास्तव में तो क्रोध
avagunas, the wrong qualities. Actually, Kam,
भगवान ने काम
Krodh, they are different. Earlier also, Bhagavan said that Krodha is born from Kama. So Krodha is also known as Kamanuj, the younger brother of Kama.
या उसका पुत्र है,
Or you may say the son of Kama.
प्रद्युम्न है और उनका पुत्र अनिरुद्ध
So, like there is Pradyumna and his son Aniruddha.
जो है वो कामदेव के अवतार है, उनके पुत्र अनिरुद्ध
So, is the avatar of Kamadev and his son is Aniruddha. And is the in charge of, one is in charge of Mana, other of Buddhi.
दोनों आते हैं एक साथ, और ये समझाने के लिए कि
So, because Kama and Krodh, they come together. So, it is being explained that everything is born from this only.
आपकी कामना है,
If you have a desire, a kamana, and somebody places obstacle on that, then you become angry.
लेकिन अगर कोई व्यक्ति आपसे
But
बलशाली है
if some person
और आप
is more powerful than you and you cannot fight against
उसके
him,
ऊपर आपको क्रोध आ रहा है, एक तो ये कि क्रोध आया उससे आपने गाली गलौज किया, लेकिन वो आपका
one
बॉस
is
है,
that you become angry and you start abusing that person. But if you are working under your boss
तो
or
गाली गलौज नहीं
mahanta,
नहीं कर सकते, तो फिर क्या होगा, उससे द्वेष आएगा,
then you cannot abuse that person. But then what will happen? You will become envious of that
बलशाली है तो उसको भी
person.
लगेगा कि यार ये
And if that person is more powerful, then you will become fearful of him also.
और अगर काम
So from Kam there is Krodh, then there is Bhaya, Dvesha.
है इसलिए उसको महान,
And if Kama is satisfied, then you become greedy,
तो अगर वो
then you want more of it.
तो उसमें
Like if somebody eats more
आपकी इच्छा
and he is
बहुत
done, then the desire to eat more will again arise.
काम कामा नाम उपभोगेन साम्यति हविषा कृष्ण वर्तमैव पुनरेवाभि भूय एव अभिवर्धते। तो ये ययाति का श्लोक है जिसने
So
अपना
this
यौवन
verse is by Yayati, who
चला गया था और अपने पुत्र से यौवन लेके उन्होंने
had lost his youth and he took youth from his son and enjoyed for 1000 years. And after having enjoyed so much, still he was not satisfied. And then he recited this verse
उपभोगेन साम्यति कि काम जो है
that
भोग से शांत नहीं होता,
karma is never satisfied by enjoying.
वो इसी प्रकार से है
It is such that you pour ghee into fire.
भूये, तो अग्नि में अगर आप घी डालेंगे तो बढ़ेगा ही। तो कुछ कामनाएं तो ऐसी हैं
Then the fire will grow more.
के लिए आवश्यक है,
So there are some desires which are necessary for our body. Like if we have hunger, then we have to eat.
नहीं होता है,
So that hunger is actually not, this kamana here is not that hunger.
शरीर रखने के
Nobody is telling you don't satisfy your hunger. But then if you say that I want such and such food only
इसलिए
to satisfy my hunger, then it is called kamana.
कि जीव से
That's why in Bhagavatam, in the beginning only, Sutta Goswami ji says
हमारे जीवन का
that
उद्देश्य जो है वो तत्व
the
जिज्ञासा
goal of our life
और
is
इसलिए
Tattva
केवल उतना ही
Jigyasa.
करना चाहिए जितना
That's why
हमारा
we should
शरीर जो है वो
accept
सुचारू रूप
only
से
that
चले
much
जैसे
by
गीता में
which
भगवान कहते हैं
our
यथा
life can
भावनार्थस्य
continue properly.
युक्त चेष्टस्य
Like in
कर्मसु
Gita, Bhagavan has said
से योगो भवति दुःखः कि हमारा खान पीन हमारा स्वप्न यानी कि
that
सोना वो
our
बैलेंस
eating, our
होना
sleeping,
चाहिए
everything should be
संतुलित होना
balanced.
चाहिए ज्यादा खाएंगे तो समस्या होगी
If we eat
शरीर को
more,
क्षति
there
होगी
will be
कम खाएंगे
trouble.
तो शरीर दुर्बल हो जाएगा
Our
ज्यादा
body will
सोएंगे
become
तो
diseased.
आलस
If we
करेंगे
eat
कम सोएंगे तो
less,
बुद्धि काम
then
नहीं
also there
करेगी
will be trouble. If we sleep
इसलिए हर
more
चीज को
or
संतुलन में
less,
रखना
then there will
चाहिए
be trouble.
और फिर हमको अपने
Our
शरीर
buddhi
को
will not function
ज्ञान
properly.
भगवत प्राप्ति में लगाना
So we have to keep the body healthy
लेकिन
in a
अगर
balanced state
हम
and
अपने
engage in
शरीर
Tattva
को भोगने में
Jigyasa.
लग जाते हैं
But
तो
then, if
तृप्ति कभी
we
होने
get
वाली नहीं है
implicated in sense
ये
enjoyment,
काम का स्वभाव ही
then we
ऐसा
will
है
never be satisfied by that.
अगर आपको
This is the nature of
ऐसी कोई
karma.
इच्छा है कि मैं
If
करोड़पति
you
बनूं
want to become a millionaire,
तो पहले जब इच्छा नहीं हुई थी आप निष्काम थे
when you
और
did
जब
not
आप
have that
निष्काम हो
desire,
जाते
then
हैं
you were
तो मन शांत
desireless.
रहता है
And when you are desireless,
क्योंकि ये
your
कामनाएं
mind
ऐसी
is
हैं जो
peaceful.
हमारे मन में अशांति पैदा करती हैं
It is the desire which
तो जब कामना
creates
आई तो मन
disturbance in our mind.
अशांत हो गया
So when you get the
और इस
desire,
कामना की पूर्ति के
your
लिए
mind becomes disturbed,
आपने प्रयास किया
and then you work very hard to
और
fulfill
आप
that
करोड़पति
desire,
बन गए
and then you become
जब
a
आपकी कामना की
millionaire.
पूर्ति हो गई
Now
तो
your
आपको
desire is
निष्काम हो जाना
satisfied,
चाहिए था क्योंकि
then you should
निष्काम को
become
सबसे बड़ी
desireless. You should
सिद्धि मिल
become
जाएगी
nishkama. But then it
लेकिन
does
जब
not
आप
happen.
करोड़पति बन गए तो थोड़ी देर के लिए तो आपको लगा कि अब मैं करोड़पति बन गया या आपको
When
कोई
you
और
became a
वस्तु प्राप्त
millionaire,
करनी
for
थी
some time
वो प्राप्त
you may
करने
think
के
that
लिए
okay, now I
आप
become a millionaire. Or if you
संतुष्ट
wanted
हैं
some object,
लेकिन उसके
you
बाद
get
फिर
that
कोई नया
object for
सपना आता है
temporarily, you feel
कोई नई
satisfied,
इच्छा पैदा हो
peaceful.
जाती है
But then after some
और
time,
वो
again a new
आपको
desire
और परेशान कर
arises.
देती है इसलिए
So
दूसरी
this
कामना पैदा
karma,
होती है
whenever it is
और इसी प्रकार
satisfied,
से
it
हमारे
leaves
जीवन में
another seed there, and that seed gives rise to another
तो इसलिए उसको भी
tree of
एक समय
karma,
समाप्त किया जाता
and it is never satisfied. That's why we
है
have to
कामना
kill
की
this
पूर्ति के
kamana
लिए हमें
by
कामना का त्याग
our
करना
vivek,
पड़ेगा
our discrimination only. So this
तभी हम
karma can
उसको
never be
पूरा कर
satisfied.
सकते हैं
It simply has to be
हम
given
उसकी
up.
तृप्ति कर सकते हैं
Either we can satisfy our karma or
कृष्ण कह रहे हैं अर्जुन
we
को
can give it up. Now, satisfying karma is never possible. Bhagavan himself is telling here, and who knows better than Bhagavan? Bhagavan is telling that till today, nobody
कामना की
has
पूर्ति
been
होगी और उसके
satisfied,
साथ में
nobody's material desire has
आप
been
अपने आप
satisfied.
लगाएगा
And not only that, it will also engage us,
नकारात्मक
implicate us in sinful
क्योंकि
activity,
पुजारी का यही काम होता है हमारा विनाश करेगा
because that is the job of enemy.
दूसरों के
Enemy's
प्रति
job
भी
is to
हिंसा
destroy
करेंगे
our
अपने
life.
प्रति भी हिंसा करेंगे
So what will happen is we will become
तो ये है तो कामना
violent
आता
towards
कैसे है
others and to ourselves also.
तो इसके लिए जो
So
भगवान ने
from where does this
संकल्प
karma
दिया
appear?
वो
So for that,
काम
Bhagavan has told
ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात भगवान कहते हैं छठे
very
अध्याय
important
में
point
जाके
in the sixth
कि ये जो
chapter of
काम
Bhagavad
है
Gita that
ये संकल्प
this
से आता है
karma, it appears
ये
by
शब्द आपने सुना
sankalpa.
होगा संकल्प विकल्प बहुत बार
Now
तो
you
इसका
might have heard of
जानना
this
जरूरी है
earlier,
कि ये है क्या संकल्प
sankalpa, vikalpa, but maybe we have not
जैसे
deliberated on
आपने
this. What is
संकल्प तो
sankalpa?
आता है ना
Because sankalpa also appears. What
इसी
is
को हम
the
करना
cause of
चाहेंगे
sankalpa? What is this sankalpa?
भगवान 11वें अध्याय में भी बोलते हैं ये बात को कहते हैं कि रजो युक्त मनसः संकल्प
Bhagavan tells in 11th chapter also.
विकल्प तो ये वहां से पता चलता है कि पहले मन में जो है वो रजोगुण आता है
So he says that first of
तभी
all,
हम संकल्प
rajas
करते हैं
appears in the mind
तो
and
संकल्प क्या
then
है संकल्प
sankalpa
का मूल
appears.
मतलब होता है
So what is
संकल्पनाम
sankalpa?
इति संकल्प ये कल्पना करना कि कोई चीज अच्छी है
Sankalpa means to
ये
think
संकल्प है
that this is good.
आप किसी चीज को
That is
देखते हैं
sankalpa.
कोई यहाँ पर
You
आता है
see some object or you
आपके
some
पास
person,
या फिर
somebody comes here, he
दूसरे
has a
व्यक्ति
nice
आपको
car or he is wearing
उसके पास
nice
में अच्छा
clothes
मोबाइल है
or he
तो
has
उसको
a
देख
nice
के
mobile.
आपके मन
You
में एक
see
विचार
that
आता है कि ये बहुत
and you
अच्छा
get a
है
thought that this object
या
is
किसी
very
स्त्री या
nice.
पुरुष को देखते हैं कि ये बहुत
Or you
सुंदर है
see some woman or man and you
तो
think
आप
this is
ये
very
यहाँ से
beautiful.
समस्या चालू होती है
So the problem starts
जैसे
from
ही
here.
आपके मन में ये बात आई कि ये अच्छा है ये सुंदर है
The moment you get
तो
the
आप
thought that
ये
this is
समझ रहे
nice,
हैं कि
this is
भगवान की जो
beautiful,
सृष्टि
Now you may think that what is wrong in that? Bhagavan's creation is beautiful, but the problem is we do not see it as Bhagavan's creation. If we see like that, then there is no problem. When you see some rich person and you think this is a big person, great person, you see a sports person and think this is a very famous person, or some great guru acharya, you think he's a big guru, he has so many followers. So when you get this thought, so it appears that there is no problem in this, but actually the seed of the problem lies in this thought itself. If this thought comes independent of Bhagavan, then it starts the problem. Because this is the thought in Rajogun. When your thought is in Sattvagun, then there is no problem. Because in Sattva there is knowledge. And what is knowledge? To understand that this is all Vasudev. Then the duality that we make, this is good, this is bad. From here only Rag Dvesh begins. What Bhagavan said earlier. So now you connect that here. When your senses like something, then you develop rag for that. Because liking means I will get sukha, I will get happiness from this object. If you like something, it means you think that you will derive happiness from that. If you do not like something, you think that I will get suffering from this. So from there, raga and dvesh, these two enter into the mind. We do not realize that it's something very subtle because we don't see the kamana. Now when it will enter into my mind, from there we develop sankalpa. So first of all, by seeing the vastu, the object, when we get the thought of good or bad, independent of Bhagavan, it is not, it happens to devotees also. We also see something, it may be good or bad, but then we see it in relation to Bhagavan. So there is nothing wrong in that. That gets into the philosophy of Vasudeva Sarvamiti, everything belongs to Bhagavan. But this mentality is found in sadhakas of very high grade, great devotees. But an ordinary sadhaka does not think like that. An ordinary person does not think like that. So then he develops minus into that. Ahang.
और अविद्या का मतलब मैं अपने आप को नहीं जानता हूँ, मैं भगवान का दास हूँ, जीवन.
So avidya means I do not know myself, although I have forgotten that I am the das of Bhagavan. So because of this wrong thinking, because of this avidya, this wrong thinking keeps developing. So first of all, the seed expands slightly. Then there is kamana. So then there is a tree and then it gives fruits. So all these rag, dvesh, etc., these are all the fruits of that tree. So you have to look at the root, the moola, because now once the fruits have appeared, you can't do anything. When kama has developed into krodha, then you have lost the control. Till the level of kama, you could have controlled. Actually, if you control at the level of sankalpa, that is best. That's why Bhagavan says, give up all of them. So this is sankalpa. We keep using the word sankalpa, but first of all, you have to understand what does the word sankalpa mean. So this is the root cause. Now when the mind gets influenced by rajas, because whatever variety we are seeing around us, in one way, it is not there. Those of you who have studied science, you know, when we see some object, an image of that object gets created in our mind, and we see that image. We are not seeing the original object, we are just seeing that image. Like when you see the cinema or TV or now on mobile, so is there anything? It is just light points which are flickering there, just light. So similarly, the world is like this only.
इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मिथ्या है, लेकिन जैसा आप
It does
सोचते
not
हैं
mean
वैसा
that
नहीं
it is
है।
mithya.
इसलिए ईशोपनिषद
I'm not
बोलता है
telling that,
ज्योतिर्मयेन
but
पश्यन्
it is not the way we think.
निहितं सत्यस्य मुखम्। तो कहते हैं
That's
उसका
why
मुख अभी
Ishopanishad says
हिरण्मय पात्र से ढका हुआ है।
that the face of Satya is hidden by the Hiranmaya Patra. Hiranmaya Patra means the sun rays, because sun's rays have 7 colors.
काला दिख रहा है,
This
वास्तव में काला
laptop,
नहीं
you
है।
are seeing it as black color. Actually, it is not
यहाँ
black.
ऐसा दिखता है कि इस पे जो लाइट
It
पड़ती
appears
है,
black
उसमें जो बाकी
because
कलर होते हैं
the
वो इसके अंदर
light
समाहित हो जाते हैं
that falls on
और
this, the
काला
six
रंग उसका
colors get merged into it. Only the black
प्रतिफलित
gets
होता है,
reflected.
रिफ्लेक्ट होता है, तो इसलिए काला दिखता है।
That's why it appears
वास्तव में
black to you. Actually, it is
और
not
हर चीज
black.
ऐसे ही है, जिसको
And
आप देखते
everything
हैं
is like
कि
that
ऐसा कुछ
only.
है ही नहीं वो,
You see, it is like this or that. It is not like that.
रजोगुण के कारण ऐसा होता है।
But due to Rajogun, we feel
इसलिए
like
भगवान
that.
कहते हैं रजोयुक्तस्य
That's
मनसस्य
why
बुद्धिर्भ्रमति
Bhagavan says,
और उससे फिर ये इच्छा आती है, और जब इच्छा आ जाती है
so that gives rise to desire. And when you have the desire, then Maya has done her
इच्छा
job.
की पूर्ति में लगते हैं।
Now you get
तो ये
engaged
है
in fulfilling that desire.
संकल्प की कथा।
So this
और
is the
संकल्प से
story
क्या
of
होता है? काम।
Sankalpa. And from this Sankalpa, what we get is Kama.
उस काम से
And
क्रोध पैदा होता है,
that
जब
Kam
उसकी प्राप्ति नहीं होती
leads to Krodha.
और प्राप्ति
When
नहीं
Kam
होती
is unfulfilled, then we become angry.
और लोभ और
And
क्रोध
if it is
दोनों से
fulfilled,
वो
then we become greedy. And
एक आदमी
Krodh and
क्रोध करता
Lobh,
है तो वो मोह
anger
होता
and
है,
greed, both give rise
उसको
to
ठीक से
Moha,
देख नहीं पाता
illusion. Because when a
है,
person is bewildered, he cannot see objects
और
or people as it
लोभ
is.
आता है
He
तो वो
starts abusing
आदमी देख नहीं
the
पाता।
same person who loves him.
लोभ की
And
वजह
when
से
a
वो
person is
आपने
greedy,
जो
then also he
आपने सुना
cannot
होगा ना, जो
see things as it
सुसाइड कर रहे
is.
हैं लोगों को
Nowadays, you might be hearing that people fall under digital arrest.
इसको इतना पैसा
So
मिल
this
जाएगा,
is due
ये हो
to
गया, ये
greed
भय है,
only.
भय।
They either they scare you or
तो
they
ये सब सारे अनर्थ
make you greed or they exploit your greed.
तो इसलिए भगवान इस
So
बात को
the
यहाँ
anarthas
समझाते
continue
हैं
like this.
कि
And here Bhagavan is explaining that
काम है
this kama
और ये क्रोध है, दोनों को
and
एक साथ जब
krodha,
उन्होंने कहा तो उन्होंने कहा कि
he told
इससे
about both together.
बच के रहना।
So he said that be careful of
तो
this.
इसलिए अभिलाषा जो करनी है वो केवल
So
भक्ति
the
संबंधित करनी है।
desire that we should
श्री रूप
have,
गोस्वामी जी
it
ने
should
कहा
be
अन्य
related
अभिलाषिता
to
शून्य।
bhakti. That's why Sri Rupa
अभिलाषा जो करनी है
Goswami
कामना नहीं,
says, Anya
उसको
Abhilashita
अन्य
Shunyam.
अभिलाषिता
Abhilasha means
शून्य
kamna.
कहा। क्यों?
He
क्योंकि
said
सभी
Anya
अभिलाषाएं
Abhilashita Shunyam.
कामेश
Because
क्रोधेश
all
रजोगुणेश
the Anya
ये
Abhilashas,
सब
the other
हमारे
desires that we have, they fall under
वो हमारे विरोधी हैं।
Kamesha, Krodesha. They are all born of Rajoguna
इसलिए कामना जो
and they
है
are our
भगवान की
enemies.
करनी चाहिए,
That's
और ये
why
अगर संबंधित नहीं
Kamana,
है
desire should
तो
only
भगवान
be
को नहीं
related to
करना चाहिए।
Bhagavan. If it is not related to
इसलिए
Bhagavan, it will
भगवान
lead,
श्री
it
कृष्ण
will
जब
become a cause of our
उपदेश
fall
देते हैं
down.
तो वो यहाँ तक
That's why when
कहते हैं
Bhagavan
कि
teaches
स्वभाव
Uddhavji,
कर्मणि
he goes to the extent saying
विश्वम एकात्मकम पश्यन् प्रकृत्या पुरुषेण च। वो कहते हैं कि दूसरे की स्वभाव की ना प्रशंसा करो ना निंदा करो।
he says, do not praise other people's swabhava, do not criticize other
आप
people's
प्रशंसा क्यों
swabhava.
ना करें, निंदा क्यों ना
Now,
करें?
this may appear
श्री
strange that
कृष्ण की
why should
बात
we
यही
not
है
praise or criticize other people's
इसमें
swabhava?
प्रशंसा करने का
So,
मतलब
the
है कि
main reason behind that is
वो
this only,
और यहाँ दूसरों की
that
प्रशंसा करने
when
का मतलब
we
है
are praising or
भगवान की
criticizing
प्रशंसा करना।
others, of course, here it does not refer to praising our great devotees and all. We are not talking about that.
लेकिन
That leads to our
आम
purification
समाज
only.
में जब हम किसी
But
व्यक्ति को
in
देखते हैं जो
ordinary
बहुत बड़ा
society, we see
ज्ञानी है
somebody and we
तो
start
हम
praising
सोचते
or
हैं
criticizing that person. So
कि
from there,
इसमें
the
भगवान
seed
श्री
of
कृष्ण कहते
Rajoguna
हैं
enters inside
न
us.
प्रशंसेत न गर्हेत
So Bhagavan is telling very
विश्वम
clearly
एकात्मकम पश्यन्। इस विश्व को एकात्मक देखिए, वही जो वासुदेव सर्वमिति।
that see this
इसमें
world as
कुछ बुरा नहीं है,
Ekatmaka, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. There is
सेवम
nothing good or bad here.
सेवम रही प्रकृत्या पुरुषेण च। तो ये हेय और उपादेय बुद्धि रखना,
So keeping this mentality of here and upadaya,
को रहना है
if we have to live in the society, we have to deal.
को चाहिए या
But then
राग द्वेष, समस्या असली राग द्वेष की है।
the problem really lies with raga and dvesha.
उपादेय समझने में कोई समस्या नहीं है, वो तो हमको
Actually, there is no problem in understanding hey upadaya. If we are eating, we have to understand that what is favorable, what is unfavorable for my health. But if we develop raga dvesh into that, then our fall down will start.
समाप्त करना है।
So we have to
इसमें
give
कथा
that
आती
up.
है कि जो भृगु ऋषि हैं, ब्रह्मा के पुत्र हैं, तो उनकी पत्नी है पुलोमा।
So Bhrigu Rishi, who is the son of Brahma,
शुक्राचार्य,
his wife is Puloma, who is the daughter of Shukrach.
तो इसलिए वो असुरों का
Shukracharya is the guru of Asuras.
करती थी, अनुकूलता थी उसके मन में।
So she used to favor the Asuras.
असुर जो है वो देवताओं से युद्ध करें और आके जो है
So
फिर
she wanted Asuras should fight against the Devas
उनको बचा लेती थी। उसके पास में संजीवनी
that come under the shantel of Bhrigu's wife.
कथा महाभारत,
She had the Sanjeevani Vidya.
तो भगवान विष्णु ने उसको मार दिया।
So Bhagavan Vishnu killed her.
कि स्त्री की हत्या करना
Although it is
शास्त्र के अनुसार
according to Niti Shastra, it's a great sin to kill a woman.
हत्या भगवान ने की।
But Bhagavan killed that woman
यही दिखाने के लिए कि जो
to show
असुर का मतलब क्या है, असुन रमते इति असुर,
what does Asura mean.
भोग बुद्धि रहती है,
One who simply has mentality of enjoying. So that Asura mentality is inside us also. So we should not give shelter to that. We should not nourish or support that.
विदा करना है।
We have to
स्वयं किया है।
bid. We have to bid. We have to get rid of that.
श्लोक में भगवान बता रहे हैं।
So here
है इसमें कहने के लिए,
Bhagavan is teaching this in this verse. There are many other things to speak about this verse, but it's time, so we will stop here. If somebody has any question, you can ask.
कोई है नहीं तो ठीक है, फिर प्रार्थना श्लोक पढ़ते हैं। तो कुछ प्रार्थना श्लोक का उच्चारण करते हैं क्लास के बाद में। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपाल नंदनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मंत्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयः स्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम् यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांघ्रये भवे भवे यथा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नाथस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपाप प्रणाशनं प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम। हरि ओम तत्सत्। Yeah, you can ask.
प्रश्न है संकल्प और रजोगुण के बीच में क्या संबंध है?
संकल्प रजोगुण से पैदा होता है।
So sankalpa is born from rajogun. When mind is influenced by rajogun, there is sankalpa.
संकल्प मन में उत्पन्न होता है, जैसे हमारे अंदर विचार आते हैं कि यह
So
गाड़ी
sankalpa
अच्छी
is
है,
born
तो
in
हम
mind, like
रजोगुण को
we say this is good.
ऑब्जर्व करते हैं।
So then how do we observe rajogun in the mind?
ये रजोगुण से ही होता है।
So this liking and disliking that happens due to rajogun only. In sattvagun, it is everything is in balance. Sattvagun brings vairagya, rajogun gives asakti, ragadvesh.
सूक्ष्म स्तर पर जो अच्छा बुरा ये जो होता है ये रजोगुण से आते हैं।
So this like dislike it happens at very subtle level due to rajogun.
उनका एक और प्रश्न भी है, क्या रजोगुण
Next
का दर्शन
question,
संभव है?
is it possible to
रजोगुण का
have
दर्शन
is
संभव
it
है?
possible to have darshan of rajogun? So answer yes, it is possible.
रजोगुण का दर्शन उसके प्रभाव से ही होता है उसका दर्शन।
So rajogun can be seen by its effect only.
जैसे आप चीनी है, चीनी में मिठास का
It is a gun like in sugar. Is it possible to have darshan of sweetness?
उसको तो आप स्वाद से पता लगाते, तो रजोगुण तो उसके प्रभाव से पता चलता है।
So you understand rajogun by its influence only.
ठीक है। दर्शन खुला है अभी? So now there will be arti. You have darshan, and maybe you do not know this temple here has the Giriraj which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to Raghunath Das Goswami, and it has the thumbprint of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on it, because he used to hold this in his hand and cry out of love for Krishna. So the stone will melt, and because it will melt, then his finger and thumb gave an impression. So this he gave to Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, who was in Jagannath Puri with him, and that one is present here, so you can all have darshan of that. So there will be arti now, and you can all join arti.